Good morning, and welcome to all our viewers. Thank you for joining us, whether you are joining us on Flow, AMPLIA, Digicel. If you are joining us on Facebook or even on YouTube, we want to say good morning to you. This is Tobago Updates, and it is Youth Wednesday, 18th March 2026, and we are coming live from the Port Mall, downtown Scarborough, Tobago. And alongside me, I have, and I'm very excited about this morning because I have followed this young lady, and here she is adding the youth to Youth Wednesdays. I have Miss Jolie St. John.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Well, not as a guest, but as a co-host this morning. I'm very excited to be here and to work alongside you.
Yes, you know, Jolie, when I heard that Jolie coming on this morning, listen to me, I just get starstruck when young people doing great things, you know, and so it is a pleasure to be right here with you this morning. Trust and believe that I am super excited. But before we go any further, we need to bring the viewers up to speed.
Yes.
And here is your news in 90 seconds. A war of words between political heavyweights, Watson Duke lands a new role, and SEA students enter the final stretch. Your news starts now for Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. Former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has labeled Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar a jammet. During a recent sit-down with the media to address allegations by the PM that the PNM's Balize House headquarters construction was funded by drug money, Dr. Rowley has dismissed the claims as baseless and desperate, while government supporters are calling his language a new low for national political discourse. In a move that has surprised many, the National Gas Company has hired the PDP founder and political leader, Watson Duke, as a human resource and industrial relations consultant. Duke, who famously resigned from the PSA in 2021, confirmed he will be advising on human capital development with a specific focus on NGC's assets at the Cove Industrial Estate in Tobago. Both Duke and the NGC state his unique knowledge of Tobago will be an asset as the company seeks to expand its footprint. Finally, both the Ministry and the Division of Education say all systems are go for the 2026 secondary entrance assessment. Over 18,000 students across the country are set to sit the SEA exam next Thursday, March 26th. Coordinated support, including police presence and psychological services, is in place at all centers to ensure a smooth process. We wish all our Tobago scholars the best of luck in their final week of preparation. That was your news in 90 seconds. Tune in again at 6:30 p.m. for our full newscast. So Jolie, a lot to unpack in the news this morning.
Yes, it is.
So we would have seen the political climate is heating up. You know, it don't stay cool for very long, eh?
Not at all.
It don't stay cool for very long. And you would have seen persons, they upset about the language.
Yes.
They don't like the language at all.
Yes, it's not completely pleasant, and it's not really a good example for the young persons, but
you know, Jolie, they're using this language since time immemorial, since time immemorial. But as you say, it is not good. But even Dr. Rowley himself, at a time, he was on the receiving end. Yeah, he got called Raging Bull and all kind of names. You know, it is always sad when the political discourse descends to such lows, you know. But we want to encourage our politicians. We can send a message to them.
Yes, we can.
Keep it positive, keep it clean, you know, keep it clean. The youths are watching. You know, but SCA is right there, right around the corner. Is it 26? I have a nephew. Well, Jolie, you must be right. More recent than me. Couple years. Me too. You know, couple years. 2003, couple years. Couple years, you know, but that is a big moment.
Yes, it is.
That's a big moment. I still remember. Yeah, you remember your date when you wrote?
The date? No, I don't remember, but I remember I wouldn't say the pressure, but the emphasis that was placed on it leading up to. It's really a big milestone in the life of a child.
Yeah, you know, and well, I'm glad that they have the psychological support. Yes, they said that, and that is important. But you know, regardless of the outcome of these results, we want to tell parents who may be watching children, or they could be in school, they should be going to school now, but in case you're tuning in, we want to tell them it's not the end of the world.
It isn't.
Yeah, you know, it is another step in your academic journey, and do your best, put your best foot forward
in everything.
Yeah, that's important. But we have celebrations this morning.
Yes, we do. On a more positive note, we would like to our birthday shout outs. Firstly, we have Miss Karen Wills from the Tobago Updates family. We wish you a happy birthday. We wish you many more years of life and strength.
And we head straight on to Mr. Oscar Ocho. Hi, Mr. Ocho. We want to say happy birthday to you. May today be a wonderful day for you.
Next, we have Miss Akela Springer, and she is a young entrepreneur right here in Tobago and the co-founder of Shades of Lupus. So we are sending love her way on this special day.
And this birthday greeting, this building, let me tell you something, Jolie, our viewers, you all know that this birthday greeting has been building. We learn all about the month of March being the first month in the Jewish calendar, things. Listen, we want to send big birthday greeting to Mr. March himself. Yes, the co-host right here on Youth Wednesday, Mr. Dwayne Nurse. We are wishing you all God's blessing. Look how you fancy, Papa. Yo, hey, look, legs out, knees out, everything. There we go. Dwayne, we hope that you have a wonderful birthday. And as you always tell persons, we are Tobago Updates. We are waiting for our cake and with little non-alcoholic wine. Right. Yes, so happy birthday to everyone. We want to tell persons, if you are celebrating, we want to celebrate with you. So send your greetings right here at Tobago Updates, and we'll be sure to do the shout out right here. But we have a lot in store.
Yes, we do. Today is a packed program. Firstly, we'll have an interview with Mrs. Camlin Melville Pantin, Assistant Conservator Forest, and Mr. Beamlal Ramlogan, Chairman of the Main Ridge 250 Committee, and they will be chatting with us about the Main Ridge celebrations and the various activities being held. Next, we have Mr. John Chapman, commonly known as Chappie here in the Tobago space. He is the Artistic Director of the Chance to Dance Academy, and he'll be joining us to speak on the We Pulse Dance Camp, something for the kids. Lastly, Mr. Glenn Niles, the chairman and founder of the Down Syndrome Family Network, and he will be joining us alongside Mr. John Paul Belma, an advocacy and human rights lawyer, and they both will be enlightening us on the initiatives in store for International UN World Down Syndrome Day. So, very packed program.
Truly, we have a lot in store, a lot of conversations, a lot of things to talk about. So, we want to take a quick break because we have so much this morning and we don't want you to miss it at all. So at this time, we want to encourage everyone to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way. Some bunny's getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through. Because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray. Easter money's on its way.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Springs. Contact 49SWIFT 4979438.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear. An older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. For a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to all our viewers. So alongside us this morning, we have Forester 2, Mr. Bimal Ramlogan, and he is also the chairman of the Main Ridge 250 Committee, and this is under the Division of Environment, Climate Resilience and Energy. So good morning to you. Good morning to you, Mr. Ramlogan.
A pleasant good morning to both of you.
Good morning. So tell us what you're here to talk about. We know a lot is happening this year as we celebrate 250. Yes. So tell us about the Main Ridge celebrations.
Okay, so it's quite a monumental occasion because we have a forest in 250 years. It's recognized as the oldest protected forest in the entire Western Hemisphere. So, you know, a quarter century ago, while the rest of the world were looking at finding new land to chop down land, to plant sugarcane and all these things, instead Tobago chose a very different path. And this path shaped what global policy is on environmental hundreds of years later. So we decided the Main Ridge Forest, we're going to have that area established as a protected forest reserve.
Okay, and in a world facing climate change and environmental degradation, what strategies and mechanisms are currently in place or what is being rolled out to minimize the effects of these challenges?
Well, that's why we really had to appreciate the impacts that our forest has. And, you know, we're really blessed because there's a saying by a famous Native American leader called Chief Seattle. And Chief Seattle said, forests are not inherited from our ancestors. Instead, they are borrowed from our children. So when we think about things like long-term development and planning, we need to ensure that we continue to protect our forests. A large part of that is to embrace the heritage and the culture. And that's why we plan this week of celebrations to ensure that we're able to fully appreciate, because we've come to realize a lot of persons in Trinidad and even right here in Tobago don't understand the impact and the purpose of the Main Ridge. The Main Ridge was established primarily for watershed protection, to protect our soils, to protect our ecosystem, our biodiversity. And that's why today it's so, ecotourism is such a thing in Tobago.
You know, so tell us, you said that this is some of the things that would have shaped you guys going into this 250 celebration, this week of celebration.
Yes.
Tell us more about the week of celebration and what we can look forward to in this week.
Okay, wonderful. So on Monday, the 27th of April, we kick off with an opening ceremony at the Main Ridge Orientation Center. And we have the judging for a mural competition which is being held for school kids by the Wildlife Department. Then on the Tuesday, the 28th, we have a very entertaining session where we're going into the assembly with school kids who will be garbed in the attire of those from 1776 when the proclamation was declared. So they will actually have a debate as the British parliamentarians did back in the day. Moving on from that, on Wednesday, the 29th, we have a bird banding observation, which is scientific study of birds on the island. We also have a guided tour. So what we want to do, this guided tour on this bird banding, we want to take those persons who are responsible for drafting the legislation and the policy, the secretaries, people like the administrators, people who influential, even state agencies in Trinidad who are influential in ensuring the progress of and the maintenance of the mainridge and environment in general. We want to take them into the forest and let them get an intimate feel firsthand of what the forest really means. Oftentimes we have persons in there making decisions without actually understanding. So we decided, here's what, let's bring them in and let's send them in the forest. Now this leads up to the 30th. And the 30th of April in 1776 was the day that the proclamation was made to establish the Mainridge Forest Reserve. So everything leads into that grand day of celebration. We have two sessions. The morning session, we have a time capsule, and we're going to take this capsule and put some things that represent modern day. Now, we don't know if in 50 or 100 years if they might still be able to read a flash drive. Because I'm sure some of you guys don't know if I say floppy disk, I don't even know what we're talking about. But we're going to put like flash drives, photos, parchments into this time capsule, and we're going to have 4 different capsules. So one, we're going to have a parade with the capsule, a cultural Tobago style parade to the Mainridge Center, and we're going to house one of the capsules there. That will be open in 50 years. We're going to leave one capsule with the ACF, the Assistant Conservator of Forests, and that one will be kept in Forestry Department, and the other 2 we're looking at the museum, and we're looking at another place for the last one. So generations to come would be able to benefit from the activities happening today. But more importantly, through TTAL, which is one of our partners, Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, we actually sourcing one of a replica of the ordinance from 1776 from in England. So we plan to have an unveiling of that ordinance at the Mainridge Center.
Yes.
So that's the morning session.
You mentioned a lot of activities that involve students, which is very commendable, but I know there's also a forest reserve cleanup that is planned. So how can persons join in on this initiative? Is there a registration form? Are they required to bring any equipment or materials of their own?
Okay, sure. So the forest reserve cleanup is happening on Thursday. I will get into that, if you may permit, shortly. Let me just wrap up the most important event, which is happening the Monday night. So the Monday night, we want to honor, to celebrate 250 years, we want to honor 25 persons. And we decided that persons that contributed towards forestry, environmental protection, and these things in Tobago, and even in Trinidad, if it's on the scale of shaping policy, we want to honor these persons. So we have an award ceremony and cocktail reception. And this is going to be in 3 different tiers of awards. So the highest tier of awards we're going to have is the White-tailed Saberwing Hummingbird Award. This is being given to 3 persons who have contributed towards large-scale environmental policy and legislation to shape conservation efforts. The second tier of award is going to be the Blue Copper Tree Award, which is going to be given to persons that work in forestry division in Tobago that ensure that forestry has been successful over the years. And the third tier of award is called the Oscillated Gecko Award, and this one is going to be given to persons that contributed towards the Mainridge Forest. So by honoring these persons, we think recognition needs to be given where it is deserved, and these persons ensured that the Mainridge is what it is today. So we also have a cleanup, which you now asked about. That cleanup is happening tomorrow on Thursday, and that's in honor of World Forest Day, International Day of Forests. So if you want to get involved, come down to the Mainridge Center. We start at 6 o'clock in the morning. Forestry, I mean, that is the regular time that we operate. When we go across to Little Tobago, it's 4 in the morning we leave home. So 6 in the morning, come across to the Mainridge Orientation Center if you're interested, and you could be part of this cleanup. So we're going to coordinate and ensure that the area is cleaned between the large monuments to the Mainridge Center.
You know, I wanted to find out about some of the persons that you're partnering with.
Yes.
I heard that you would have mentioned TTAL.
Yes.
Any other organization that you're partnering with to put forward this, because it's grand.
Yeah.
It's on grand. This is a big initiative. Yeah? Tell us about them.
All right. So the first partner, as you said, is TTAL, Tobago Tourism Agency Limited. they would have reached out, and they actually have a lot of plans, and coincidentally it overlapped with a lot of our plans. So we decided, here's what, let's come together and work in the collective best interests for the people of Tobago. Our next partner is the Environmental Management Authority, the EMA, and the EMA has been very keen, very supportive. I've spoken to the chairman a couple of times, and he's actually appointed a representative to attend our committee, to serve on our committee. We also have even their directors come across to serve on this committee because they understand the scale of this project. The other partner we have is an NGO called BITE, Building Youth in Technology and the Environment. BITE would have actually submitted the initial proposal and plans and be like, hey, what, let's honor these persons. So we have this NGO BITE, and we also have the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program. Tobago Reforestation has always been a wonderful partner to us, and they have continued to, show great, tremendous support. So these are our main partners. We're in conversations towards expanding more because you guys understand the magnitude of this occasion.
Myself and I know Jolie, we're wondering, you talk about this grand cocktail. How this cocktail, what is there called? Where it would be, where this grand cocktail would be.
So let me just correct you, because it's a mocktail,
Oh, right.
It's a mocktail reception. We're still working on the logistics behind it. As you know, some of these things tend to take a lot in planning.
Yes.
So we're working on the logistics. It will be really those persons that being honored would be allowed to bring guests. We also have staff from the division. We are a brand new division. But at the same time, too, we were previously part of another division who have been, tremendous in supporting us with this initiative. I want to, acknowledge the chief admin and also the admin for food security, Ms. Poshi and Mr. Ski. They have been phenomenal in ensuring that we advance this. We have our secretary, Mr. Darren Henry, our former ECF. That guy has been phenomenal in ensuring that this event is pushed. And our current ECF, Ms. Camlin, again, wonderful people, because these people really have the heart of Tobago and the best interests of forestry and the environment.
And going back to forest conservation,
yes.
How do the relevant authorities ensure that local conservation efforts mirror or align with international standards and guidelines?
Okay, wonderful question. So actually, we do a lot of patrols. So as foresters, we do a lot of patrols with the rangers. We also have the wildlife unit. So every day, there's something that people think that maybe if we go out and do these illegal activities after working hours, it might not have anybody. But I must commend our officers, our forest officers, our foresters, our wildlife. These guys go above and beyond weekends, evening, nights to ensure that people adhere and to ensure that there's adequate enforcement of the laws. And that's why in Tobago we don't have that much of an issue when it comes to illegal logging or poaching of wildlife.
That is good. So that means that our people are informed,
yes.
And that you guys, the foresters, you all are doing your jobs.
Yes.
So we appreciate, we appreciate that. So as we seek to close this part of the interview,
yes.
I want you just to remind the viewers about the different activities that they can look forward to.
Okay.
And tell them about the cleanup, and it's 6 a.m.
6 a.m. Yeah. All right, so we started the cleanup tomorrow, 6 a.m. at the Main Ridge Orientation Center. Come down, and you see, I really want kids involved in this. I think this is a wonderful opportunity. If it is how we get the kids instilled in environmental conservation from young, they could have a future in the field. So come down, bring your kids. I know it's a school day, but I mean, it's early in the morning before school. Particularly those down in country, come out, let's bond together and let's really serve the best interests of Tobagonians. So that's happening on Thursday, this Thursday, and it's in commemoration of International Day of Forests. For the week of activities, we have Monday the 27th of April, we have the judging of the mural competition and the opening ceremony. On Tuesday the 28th of April, we have the activities done at the Assembly, which is the historical reenactment and debate. On Wednesday, the 29th of April, we have the bird banding observation activity and the guided tour. And then on Thursday, we have the Main Ridge at the Main Ridge Center in the morning. We have the unveiling of the ordinance the time capsule parade. And in the evening, we have the award ceremony and the mocktail reception.
Lovely, lovely. So we want to thank you, Mr. Ram Logan, for coming and speaking with us, sharing with us, letting us know the importance of preserving, the forest, and also letting us know about the celebrations and how we too can be a part of it. So you've heard it right here at Tobago Updates. So 6 o'clock tomorrow. Yes, those of you living on that side, head on down and be a part of the cleanup. And we're looking forward to hearing more things about the awards, and maybe even you might be able to view it right here on Tobago Updates. Who knows? Yeah. Yes, but it is something to look forward to. So up next we have John Chappie Chapman, and we will be talking about We Pulse Dance Camp. So I encourage you to stay right here on Tobago Updates, and most important, I want you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. So a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you their Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60. $100 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Combi Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
I need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
Hop, hop, hip hooray. Easter money's on its way. Some bunny's getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through. Because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray. Easter money's on its way.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. So a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Coming up, another show-stopping performance from the Republic Bank Exodus Steel Orchestra as Antigua and Barbuda got ready for its own fiesta of color and energy. New ideas for Tobago tourism delivered at the Youth Congress. This highly rated property fits in perfectly with the vacation offerings of St. Kitts and Nevis, where the future of travel was laid out. It's all next on this station.
Formerly known as Shade, for the Court Tobago, said, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwang@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is Carnival. TL Promotion presents Laugh and Live this Good Friday, 7 p.m. It's non-stop laughter at Bertrude Legacy Park, Lowlands. Special guest from Jamaica, Mr. Funny himself, Owen Blacker Ellis. From Trinidad, Rising Comics, Alan the Entertainer, and Son. And from Tobago, amateur comic, Bishop Terence Baines. Listen, this is a laughing matter. Get your tickets now at Den's Electronics, 2nd floor, Port Mall, Scarborough. An Island e-tickets or call 685-1988. At the door, you will pay more.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Okay, welcome back to all our viewers. This morning alongside me I have two gentlemen. I have Glenn Niles, the chairman and founder of Down Syndrome Family Network, and I also have John Paul Belma. I got permission to say JP and Glenn, so I have JP, and JP is an advocacy and human rights lawyer, right? So they are here speaking about International UN World Down Syndrome Day, and it is celebrated on March the 21st, and it is a pleasure to have you gentlemen here with us this morning. Yes, so good morning and welcome to Tobago Updates. So we all know, well, by now we know about rocking our socks. I have my socks ready. Yeah, it is, I don't have it today, but trust and believe on Saturday my socks would be out. Yeah, and so I just want to speak to you all about that this morning, and our viewers, we want to ask, so you're the chairman and founder of the Down Syndrome Family Network. Yeah, so Glenn, how did you what drove you to start this initiative to begin with?
Okay, well, I'm a parent of my son has Down syndrome. So, you know, when he was born, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know anything about Down syndrome, other than the fact that anybody I saw with Down syndrome would be overweight. They wouldn't be able to speak properly. They sit with their tongue hanging out of their mouth and probably just making sounds. So I really thought that's what my son's life was going to be like, and I'll have to take care of him until he dies or until I die. So that's a very bleak future that I saw for my son. There was no hope at all whatsoever. And, as he was growing, I realized that he is not, he wasn't like that. He would still be trying to do things. And he will do things whatever I allow him to do. So once we got past the part where when he was born, he had a heart defect. So he had to have open heart surgery, at 5 months. And after he returned from that, he started to thrive. And he definitely wasn't what I expected. So, of course, I decided hey, I need to educate myself. This isn't what I thought. Things are going differently. He looks like he could actually try to do things and actually do some of the things instead of not being able to do anything at all. So I started following international organizations that represented persons with Down syndrome, and the National Down Syndrome Congress, the Atlanta National Down Syndrome Society out of New York, Down Syndrome International in the UK, and I learned so much. I stopped blaming myself for my son being born with Down syndrome, because I thought it's something I did or something my father do or something. This is sins of the father that made my son come out like that. I stopped blaming myself because I learned that it's a chromosome defect. This 21st chromosome just split 3 times, so the person with Down syndrome has 47 chromosomes instead of the normal 46. And that gives them a cognitive delay. So I was like, a cognitive delay. So that means it will take them longer to learn, not that they can't learn. And so that changed my whole perspective on how my son's future would be, how I would approach teaching him, because I thought he was a special child, and they say you have to do everything for them and don't let them try to do anything for themselves, and that's what I was doing. And then I realized I was actually inhibiting his progress by doing that. I was the one keeping him back because I was not allowing him to learn and to thrive. And then one of my friends suggested that the National Down Syndrome Congress has a conference, an annual conference, and say you should go to it. Say, hey, that thing real expensive, but I said, let me make the sacrifice because I really need to find out more. So I attended the conference, and that is what changed my life completely, because at the conference, I met people with Down syndrome, young adults, who I could speak to just so I'm speaking to you. Every time I tell my story, because it still amazes me to this day that I didn't have to speak slowly and make a whole lot of gestures for them to understand me. And, we speak fast. And they were able to understand me and respond. So this is me coming from Trinidad, saying, well, what kind of sorcery is this? This a different kind of Down syndrome or what? So why are people here like this and people in Trinidad are not even close to anything like this? Or at least that's what I thought. And in meeting the parents and talking to them, I realized the only difference was really early intervention.
Right.
And that was almost what I was missing out with my son by not allowing him to do anything and not teaching him anything. That early intervention is we need to start teaching them everything. Start teaching them to read, to write, everything. And the more exposure they get, is the faster they'll pick up.
So, in sharing your experience, we would have seen that you empowered yourself. And in empowering yourself, in educating yourself, you're able to really empower your son. And so this year, International United Nations World Down Syndrome Day, the theme is Together Against Loneliness. Together Against Loneliness. And they actually have an initiative today. Yeah, so I want JP, I know that you're one of the speakers there. So if you can share with us about this conference that is taking place today and the perspective that you will be bringing to the conference.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So yes, the conference today is at Magdalena Grand Hotel. You would have had to register to come to it. This conference is really about celebrating persons with Down syndrome and on a wider scale, persons with disabilities. So I myself, I'm a person with a disability. I was born with it. And my perspective is coming from the angle of a person with lived experience as well as an attorney at law. So my whole reason for getting into law was to make a difference for persons like myself. From a very young age, I always knew that I wanted to make a difference for persons with disabilities. My parents, just piggybacking off what Niall would have spoken about, is my parents made a decision to put me into mainstream school and to push me and not limit me. So I wasn't limited, so therefore I was able to achieve and reach my potential. So that's the perspective that I am coming with, you know.
You know, I also want to find out what else can we look forward to during this conference? What else can we look forward to?
Well, the primary thing is that this is the 15th year. I mean, since the Down Syndrome Family Network was founded, and the 15th year that we've been to Tobago. So every year since we started, you know, we have been in Tobago for World Down Syndrome Day. And the message is always the same. What I learned is that we cannot continue doing the same practices that we have been doing for the last, well, how much we've always been doing it. This is all we know, to segregate persons with disabilities and separate them from society, thinking that we are doing the right thing. You know, that is the biggest problem we have right now, because when, as I said when I went to the conference, all the young self-advocates that I met, that I spoke to, that are so very well, they are educated and they are independent, all of them came from an inclusive educational system.
Right.
They were never segregated. They were never separate. They would attend separate classes, but they went to one educational facility, one educational school. And so since then, that's been our thrust. Two things: advocating for legislation for persons with disabilities. That's definitely why we invited JP to be a speaker as an attorney at law, because we don't have the legislation that will prompt people to make the changes that should be changed. You know, right now, some persons with Down syndrome and other disabilities get into mainstream schools because the principal might decide to get them in.
They get obliged.
Yes, that's it. They get obliged.
They get
It's not
obliged.
like this is the right thing to do because it's the law.
Right.
So without legislation for them, anybody to take recourse, people with disabilities have been sidelined, they have been pushed to the back, they're on the back burner, however you want to put it. They are segregated from society by putting them in separate schools. They are segregated. Society doesn't get to know them.
Right.
Now, people don't even know the difference between Down syndrome, autism. They mix it up because they don't know, they don't get to interact with them because they are totally separate and apart. So if we do that from young, from education, how could they ever be integrated in society after?
So I want to, as we have a lot of conversations that can be had on these kind of important topics, and I know that you would have alluded to legislation, that we need legislation, you know, and so these are things that we as the wider society, we need to show support for these kind of things. We need to raise awareness in our little circle wherever we go. And so March March the 21st, that is our time where we can show awareness. So I want to thank you all for coming and speaking with us this morning. And they're on today, the Tobago conference. I don't know if I'll register, I probably wouldn't be able to go. Yes, but it would be on today 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Magdalena Grand. And we want to really show our support, even if it's not today, on Saturday for sure. We want persons to rock your socks as we commemorate and we raise awareness about World Down Syndrome Day. And remember, we are doing this together because we're against loneliness. So thank you, JP. Thank you, Glenn. And we want to thank our viewers for tuning in and really taking part this morning in this interview. And get your socks ready. But stay right here on Tobago Updates. Get your socks on. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Tobago, it's Carnival. The Vibe, the event space formerly known as Shade, for the court Tobago, says, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is Carnival.
Coming up, fetes, pan, parades, soca. Yes, Carnival is in full swing. Artists from all over added their strokes to Antigua and Barbuda's canvas. A boost for these Barbadian projects through the power to make a difference. Equal servings of culture and good cheer. It's Caribbean Passport TV right here on this station.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. It's who we are at the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. We're deepening our commitment to the region, continuing to invest in the networks, services, and digital solutions that move Caribbean businesses forward. Whether you are a mid-sized business or multinational player, we bring you resilient connectivity, personalized service, and tailored IT solutions, all powered by local teams that truly have your back. We're here to help you navigate challenges, grow, and achieve your goals with practical solutions, reliable networks, and a partnership rooted in trust and your long-term success. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning again, viewers, and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. This interview, we have a youth himself, Mr. John Chapman, more commonly known as Chappie, here in the Tobago space. And this morning, he's here to chat with us about the We Pulse Dance Camp. Good morning and welcome to Tobago Updates.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
No problem. So first question. Let the audience know what inspired this entire initiative, from the name We Pulse to the details of the concept itself. Where did the motivation come from?
We Pulse, good morning again. We Pulse came from my drive to push dance, the art form dance in the Tobago space, not really having something for dancers to do, specifically learning the art forms. So I started brainstorming immediately. I was like, what could I do to really help push dance in this space? And I was lying down one morning and like my heart was beating so fast. I was like, what is this, boy? Why do I feel so nervous about it? Because the first one I did was last year, and I felt as though it wasn't gonna go well. I was like, yo, this is so nerve-wracking. I was like, but we're going still. And I was like, wait, We Pulse. We is one pulse. I want to connect the world, Trinidad and Tobago extension. I was like, yeah, We Pulse had to be the name. And that's where it came from. It came from me wanting to bring dancers from all walks of life, people from all walks of life, connecting, that source, connecting things, people, to dance. So yeah, that's where it came from.
Definitely is a way to connect dancers.
Will this be the initiative's first edition of this We Pulse, because it is being done by Chance Dance Academy?
Yeah.
Is this the first year?
No, this is the second year actually.
All right. So I hope that the nerves kind of starting to subside. By now.
And is this an initiative of the Chance Dance Academy solely, or are there any other organizations and collaborators involved?
There is a lot of a couple silent partners involved, just helping to bring the initiative to life. One I could call that, and they don't mind being publicly announced, Big Dogs. They sponsored some gift cards and stuff like that to give back to the youths. But aside from that, Chance Dance took the sole responsibility of planning and bringing it together. Yeah.
You know, what has the response been like thus far? What has the response been? This is your second year. I guess that the first year had to be something good because we're back again. Yeah, so tell us about the response thus far.
Yeah, so currently the response is well. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback in terms of the initiative. However, this is our first year trying it for the April. You know, given the first year we did it in July, this year we decided to just shift a bit just to see what will happen really and truly with the date. And we decided on the April, the Easter holiday. So right now we just watching the registrations slowly trickling in. But yeah, this year we have a lot more positive responses from the teens. You know, but I really need to speak to the parents because at the end of the day the teens are the ones who are interested, but at the end of the day the parents are the ones who paying for the camp. So
and that's where we come in because we talk to the parents today. Yeah.
So let's go more into detail with the We Pulse Dance Camp. What structure will the camp adopt? Will the dance lessons be delivered based on different age categories? Are persons of all different competency levels welcome? Beginners, intermediates?
Yeah. Well, as I say, we really and truly aiming to bring together dancers from all walks of life. Last year we tried to do only the modern styles, which was received well, but I also saw a huge avenue for us to push our folk and traditional styles. So this year the intention is to merge all styles, bringing back or connecting the history of the different styles. Because, for example, dancehall, Afrobeats, you could see a lot of similarities in terms of the movements coming from West African steps or Indian classical. So the intention is to try to bring that together. So each day we intending to have modern, then folk, then modern, then traditional, you know, to kind of tie everything together. And I think I was very clear in terms of telling some of the tutors or in conversation with them, like, I really want to help connect the dots in terms of the styles. So I hope everybody understands that. So that is the intention and the aim for this year.
Connect the dancers and connect the cultures.
Correct.
I love that. That song is so good. If I was 18, I could have come and learn the ballet. I could have do a little thing.
Actually, we're not trying to tie down the age. If you see that it's 8 to 18 plus.
So I in the plus and the pluses.
Yes,
all right.
Definitely in the pluses.
All right, because this is small, I want to learn pique, you know, Jolie. I'm telling you. You know, but so you talk about the dance tutors and instructors. So we have those from across Tobago
Yes.
dance.
Yes, Tobago, and we have a few coming from Trinidad.
Lovely.
However, we just have some, just some technical issues with the travelings, but we're working it out.
Additional flights, they said they're putting it on man Chappie. So fingers crossed, everybody would be here.
Fingers crossed, everybody would be here.
Lovely.
If you had to describe the We Pulse Dance Camp in just 3 words, if you had to sell it to anybody, what would those 3 words be?
Energy, connection, creativity.
Right, so looking forward to that.
Lovely, lovely. And, you know, just speak to the young people in Tobago and talk to the parents. It's the parents we have to talk to now. You know, talk to the parents. And because, you know, sometimes you grow up and it's, what dance you want to dance? What you talking about dance? You know, so speak to the parents and let them know that, you know, this is a good opportunity for the youth.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't see the seriousness in the positive impact that dance gives a person and a human being. Dance is, and I would say from experience, one of the purest forms of expression. Dance has helped me in so many ways, and me pushing it is me saying, hey, yes, it's one of the undermined, one of the sports that are taken for granted on the island. This is me saying, no, we shouldn't. I have seen firsthand how much dance could help. Not only the adults, but the youths in general. Just being able to go into schools and help, and just being there, I could see what dance could do. So me pushing We Pulse is me saying, yo, let's not take it for granted. We have so much talent in this space. I work with so much talented dancers. Every single school I go to, there is hundreds of talented dancers, and there's nothing for them to do. And this is me just saying, hey, let me give this space something to do. Let me push it, because at the end of the day, we see all over the world dancers making waves. Why can't we make a wave in this Tobago here? You know, using our talent, how we have it. It's not like we're different to anybody else in the world. So this is me just investing in it.
Right. And I'm definitely sure that after this interview, there are a couple more persons who are going to be interested in registering. So as we close off the interview, just remind the viewers of the contact information and the social media handles with which they can reach you.
So you could reach out to me directly on 360-3267, or you could reach out to us on all platforms, WePulse TT, or you could reach out to Chance to Dance Academy, or you could email us at wepulse.tt@gmail.com. And once you message us, I could send you all the information, or somebody in the team could send you the information. But yeah, we're looking forward to have.
Remind them of the date as well, Ms. Choppy. Remind them
Yes.
of the date, remind them of the time, and the cost.
Yes, so the camp will be happening from the 3rd of April to the 5th of April. 3 days of camp from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The cost of the camp, we have the general early birds, which is $400, and the premium, which is $600. Yeah, so that's generally the
Tell them the food, tell them the lunch.
Yes.
Lunch,
So
don't forget to know.
Yeah, so the premium will be providing your own t-shirt, goodie bag, and you'll be having lunch every day. We generally just have all access, and we also would have day passes and class passes. So if you want to just have one session with one of the tutors you want,
the belly.
specifically correct,
Right.
you could jump out in that. Or if you want to come for the entire day, you would also have the opportunity, because we don't want people to feel like you have to pay the full price to be able to experience it. We want you to be able to experience it regardless. Yeah.
Lovely.
Alright, so we close off this interview this morning. Viewers, you heard that Scarborough Library, April 3rd to 5th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We Pulse Dance Camp. Something to keep your kids active and connect them with the culture during this Easter vacation. So we thank you very much, Chappie, for joining us on Tobago Updates. And as we go to the break, we want to remind the viewers to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Thank our viewers for joining us this morning. We had a packed program this morning, and we wanted to let you know that the conversations, it doesn't end here. We go straight into GMT with the lovely Miss Chanel Felix. So we want you to stay right here on Tobago Updates as Youth Wednesdays end. We transition straight to GMT. So stay and share the live, share the live, share the live.
My brother Rollins, Christopher Alexander Boy's birthday, his 60th birthday is significant to us because one, he was not supposed to be alive at this time. When he was 10 years, he was knocked down by a car. He was diagnosed with low functional Down syndrome, and the doctor said he would live till about 30. But he thank God that he has blessed him with 30 extra years. Rollins' life's journey has not been an easy one. He endured misunderstanding, exclusion, and hardship in a very time where special needs children were not recognized. Yet, through it all, Rollins persevered. Despite these challenges, he grew into a gentle, joyful, music-loving, community-embraced soul. From playing the scratcher with the Mellow Harp Steel Orchestra, to faithfully attending church, to dancing freely at every celebration, Rollins has taught us the true meaning of resilience, joy, and unconditional love.
The first day that I came, I was searching actually, am I in the right place? And I wondered, whether Boy heard my plea. He came to me. It was the first time that I was meeting him. And he said, "You all right?" In truth and in fact, I was a bit shaky. I said yes. But that question, I think, it placed me in a zone of comfort. When he hugged me and he said, "Again, you're sure?" And this, they have a way they would put their hands here to see if you have a temperature. Sorry. He did that. And I think that confirmed my comfort. I said, yes, here is my place.
This is a big milestone for him because, as you know, he is here, and today this is a big experience because usually they don't live this long. As we've heard, it takes a lot of hard work, and for him to be able to still be alive and still, this is a lot of work, a lot of love from the school. We've been around him, rallying around him and teaching him, and we want him to live for as long as he can.
We want to create an environment where persons with disabilities can live independently, participate fully in society, and access high quality inclusive care in Tobago. Mr. Rollins is a clear example of what long-term care, love, and support from family, community, and state look like. All right, Mr. Alexander King Boy, happy 60th birthday. Wishing you the very best. God bless and cheers.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. This morning, we jump straight ahead into our conversation, and we are talking with the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. This morning, we're chatting with Mr. Sheridan Peters, who is a fire officer at the Fire Prevention Unit. And we're talking about bushfires this morning. Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Chanel, and good morning to Tobago. As per usual, it's my pleasure to be here.
Excellent. So we are in the thick of the dry season, although we're seeing some rain and scattered showers here and there. Tell us a bit about how the season that we're in impacts bushfires and why persons ought to be very vigilant around this time.
All right, so it's the what we know climatically as the dry season, right? In our part of the region, but according to the Agricultural Fires Act, they deem it the fire season, which begins at the 1st of December in one year, and it goes over to the 30th of June in the preceding year. All right. During that season, it's normally a lot drier. However, climatically, we have differences in the way how it presents. Like for example, last year and this year, we will have had a little more precipitation during the period. Right, so most times when there is a lot more precipitation, the amount of bushfires is generally not as high. The number is not as high as in the drier periods, right, that we would have seen in some of the preceding years before. Right, so during this period, during the dry season or the fire season, according to the Agricultural Fires Act, there are some things that are mandated by law. Right, that is done once you have to deal with fires outside. All right, for your normal cooking, inside for your stove, it's no problem. But once you get outside, there are certain stipulations that is by law mandated.
Right, and is it that we've seen an increase uptick in bushfires recently?
Well, for this year, it has been less than previous years, right? And as I indicated, due to the climatic conditions, where we would have had a lot more precipitation during what we would normally know as the dry season, right? We have realized, based on the statistics, that once there is more precipitation, there are less bushfires, right? In addition to other factors.
Right. So is it that there are a lot of activities that are coming up during the Easter season and the holiday periods where persons tend to cook outside and you know, engage in outdoor celebrations that often lead to fires?
Well, yes, we have realized that based on the analysis of statistics, because the fire prevention section would have done some analysis of stats from 2019 to 2025, and we would have realized that we have came to the conclusion that human intervention is one of the factors that really contributes to bushfires and uncontrolled fires, right? So during 2019, there was a significant amount of fires, but during the lockdown for COVID, when persons' movements and activities was limited, the amount of bushfires would have reduced significantly. Right? With the reopening and activities commencing again, there was immediately an uptake in bushfires. Right? And we took that to mean that there is some kind of correlation between the human activity and the bushfires. Right? So in persons' cigarettes, simple. Right? So a person may finish smoking a cigarette and just discard it, you know, at the most convenient location for him, which may cause inconvenience to everyone else around, because the butt may have a little, it may be ignited a little bit, causing problems with the igniting of the brush within the area. There's also the fact where embers from your little fire in your backyard can move from there due to the effects of the wind to a different location, right, unknown to you, and cause problems at that location, right? So there are certain stipulations that are recommended by law, right? And it's not just a legal responsibility, it's the ethical, environmental, and the social responsibility as well that we need to engage in during this season to ensure that we maintain the safe environment for us and for the community around us.
Understood. And who are the persons that are most at risk for being affected by bushfires?
Well, in the areas where we have a lot of bush, you know, so to speak. So the areas where we have, in the more urban areas where you have a lot of houses and stuff, it is less likely, but it is not just bushfires. There can also be the incident of properties being affected by you burning your debris, right? Because simply debris, a lighted debris leaving the brush fire or your little heap can ignite someone's curtain, right? So it can blow into someone's window, onto their bed, you know, and cause. So the urban areas also has the risk of being affected by these fires, but also in the areas where you have a lot of uncultivated areas, where you have a lot of brush, right? It's very easy for these things to spread. And even in the times when there may seem to be green on top, sometimes the underneath, the underbrush is very dry, and the fire can also spread. So there is risk all around, and that is why we encourage persons, even though we think that the place is a little green, to still do the correct thing, which is to call the fire guardian. There's a fire guardian attached to each the area in Tobago. You can have the number for your fire guardian by contacting the fire station nearest you, right? They will provide you with the name and number of that individual, right? They will come to you, do an inspection of your premise, give you all the necessary recommendations, how to heap it, how to place it, where to locate it on the land, what steps, what mitigating steps to take, what firefighting measures, because there are also firefighting measures recommended. You need to have a hose, an extinguisher, or other measures, right? You need to have sufficient persons, depends on the size of the heaps that you will be burning, and based on the location, because if you're in a very area that is surrounded by a lot of brush and this kind of, you'll need a different type of arrangement to, if you're in a area that is just a lot of concrete and stuff. So they will make the necessary recommendations for you, and they would also make the arrangements for you to get the fire permit. It's only $10.
All right. Have you seen an increase in persons actually coming forward and getting the fire permits, or do we still have that gap between, you know, persons actually knowing that they're supposed to get a fire permit and actually fulfilling that obligation?
Well, I think we have seen where persons have shown interest in getting fire permits, because we see people constantly at my section. We have some level of interaction with the process, and we see people. There are some persons in Tobago, and I want to say congratulations to you all, that consistently, every year, during this season, they come and get their fire permits. And we have seen an uptake where we have new persons coming and inquiring and asking questions in terms of how to go about the process and what to do. And so we have seen a bit of uptake, but at the same time, I don't think we have enough compliance with this at this stage, and we want to encourage Tobago to do the right thing and come, call your fire guardian, get the number from the fire station, call the person assigned to your area, and have your fire permit, get the correct advice so that we know. And it's only $10. $10 would not hurt the bank at all, right?
Right. Compared to the price of being charged.
Correct.
For fire.
Which is $20,000 and 6 months in prison, right? $20,000 and 6 months. So compare $10 payment up front to $20,000 and 6 months of your time behind bars. You know, I think it's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Understood. And even as you wrap up our discussion this morning, is there anything that you want to say to the audience looking on this morning as it pertains to bushfires and fire prevention? It's in this season.
Right, so I just want to encourage the Tobago population again, right, that to do the needful, right, contact the fire guardian, right, which is via the fire station, contact the fire station, get the name and the number of the fire guardian so that they can come to your premise, do the inspection, right? Let us do the correct thing because we have our environmental responsibility as well. Because the wildlife that we so love, we are a lover of bushmeat within our communities. All those things become endangered as a result of wildfires. Our neighbors' premises, our communities are affected in many significant ways, and I just want to encourage persons to, within this season, to continue to be vigilant because safety really starts with you, right? And let us continue to ensure that we keep a safe and safe community in Tobago.
All right, well, we want to thank you so much for being here and for the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service for always making the time to come to Tobago Updates and talk to us on these different topics and issues as it relates to fires and fire prevention. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
It's a brand new morning. Do more, live more. Do more, live more. Oh, do more, live more. This is how it's gonna go. Do more, live more. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show. And everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look out below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look out below, 'cause this is your show. Do more, live more.
In a world where our health defines our future and the Caribbean stands on the front lines of climate change, rising NCDs and global challenges, knowledge becomes our greatest defense. Caribbean Medical TV is your guide on the journey to wellness and insight, featuring our region's own doctors, nurses, climate specialists and medical institutions. From physical well-being to the emotional and mental balance we all deserve, Caribbean Medical TV empowers you because building a healthier future isn't just a regional goal, it's a global responsibility. In the Caribbean, vitality isn't just a goal, it's a way of living. Connect with the region through knowledge, hope, and the power of Caribbean resilience on Caribbean Medical TV, where awareness becomes power. Join the conversation, join the movement. Be viewing Season 4 of Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
We get ready as the Cornby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you the Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Cornby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
Need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we jump straight ahead into our conversation this morning. We are talking about the Rainbow Falls hike, and to have that conversation with me this morning, I have the privilege of chatting with Mr. Jabari Phillips, who is from the New Start Hiking Club here in Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Right. Tell us a bit about the New Start Hiking Club. I know that it's a group of companies that come together for a number of activities and just getting active into fitness and stuff like that. Tell us a bit about the organization.
Well, New Start Hiking Club started off as just a hiking club where we do hikes all about Trinidad. However, due to the growing group and the amount of persons keep coming out, there was a need for more.
Right.
I was reached out by someone who lives Tobago, and they asked if we could come over and do hikes. We took the opportunity just to try it out, and to our surprise, the love was overwhelming, to the point now where we are demanded to have hikes every month.
Wow.
So it have a lot of love in Tobago, it have a lot of hikes in Tobago, it have a lot of opportunities, and we love being here.
All right. And so tell me about some of the activities that you guys have had in Tobago thus far and what the support has been like.
So we started off by going to Twin Falls. It started off with a small group of approximately 15 persons, and bringing over the same vibe, energy and love that we have in Trinidad. The news and the word spread. So from 15, the numbers grew to the next hike 25, the numbers grew to the next hike 40, and then it moved up to the last hike that we did, which was 140 persons on our trail.
Right. And how is it to, manage 140 and even more persons on a hiking trail in Tobago when you may not be 100% familiar with the terrain? Or is it that you have persons that are from Tobago who are familiar with the routes that guide the hikers?
That's an excellent question. At New Start Hiking Club, we pride ourselves on being very professional. So everything is a step-by-step process, and we also have persons assisting. So we have leaders. So we have team leaders who assist on the trails. So these leaders will not only assist me, but assist the hikers in aiding them with everything they need. All the trails that we go to, we are fully aware of everything that comes with the trail. We are prepared prior. We do something called a pre-hike or a recce, where we go to the trail and we make sure that the entire thing is safe. We make sure the environment is safe. We make sure the hikers are safe. We sort out what is a danger. We work out whatever necessary changes need to be made so that on the day itself, there's absolutely no problems that can possibly arise. And if there is a problem to arise, we would know how to deal with it.
Understood. And tell us a bit about the group of persons who are interested in hike. Is it persons within a certain age group, or is it that we see persons from all age groups, all demographics, kids, adults? Who do you often see coming out, and who would you encourage to come out and be a part of the Rainbow Hike?
Well, that's another excellent question. We get that question very often, where a lot of persons want to bring very small children on a hike. Not all hikes would be recommended for very small children at the age of 6 and below to go to. However, there are some hikes that are very, very easy to moderate that they can participate in. However, there is no specific age group. I've had an elderly person at the age of approximately 75 years old on a hike. I think that was the oldest person I had on a hike, and he was very active, and it was him and his wife. So there's no age group. Come one, come all, and let's do a hike.
All right. Tell us a bit about, you said that there's a demand for monthly hikes, right? Yeah, we know in Tobago we see hikes that happen like every few months. You have like a big hike, like we have the major hike, the trail that goes up to Jesus Hill around August time. During the summertime, that's one of the biggest hikes in Tobago, actually, that sees over 300 to 500 persons on that particular hiking trail. Tell us a bit about, that monthly hike. How can persons, is it like a subscription? Do people have to always pay every time they go to a hike? Is it that persons pay to be a part of the club membership and they can come on all the different hikes that the club has? Help me to understand that.
So we try to make it as simple as possible. So we know persons have different things going on in their lives, so we try to make it as scheduled as possible. So the last Sunday of every month is when we usually have our hikes. When the hike is posted via social media on Instagram or the WhatsApp group chat, which has currently over 300 members, we make a registration form for you to sign up. After you sign up your registration form, you will then be contacted by myself or any one of my team members, and there you will pass on your necessary information.
All right. And I see that this hike is $150 and $100 if you have your own transportation. Tell us a bit about some of the services that are provided on the actual hike.
So, just a bit of correction.
Okay.
The hike is $100 if you do not require transport. However, if you require transport, $80 additional will be added to the 100. So it's $180 for persons wishing to come to the hike with transport, $100 without transport. And the reason for that is we understand that not everybody has a vehicle or necessary mode of transportation to make it to the hike on time. So we provide the transport at Viewport Car Park, that is in Scarborough. At the location, the persons would meet the transport, whether it be a maxi, whether it be a caravan, whether it be a vehicle, and they will be transported to the hike and back to Scarborough, where they was picked up at.
Understood. Do you see that there is a larger growing population in terms of fitness enthusiasts that are looking for different avenues to connect and, you know, just engage and build that network on the island?
Well, mental health is very important. Mental health is a growing issue in the world that we live in today. There are hundreds of thousands of persons dying from mental health issues every year, and a quick fix or a quick getaway is a hike. A lot of times persons come to the hike for a release. Their job stressing them out. They have stress with their relationships, family members, etc. And they come and hike and they get a release, a break from reality. At times we need a break from reality, and we find that a lot of persons come, and when they leave better than they came.
Understood. And even as we round off our discussions this morning as it pertains to hiking and persons becoming more enthusiastic and engaged in hiking, how can persons contact your club to become a member of the club, or just, you know, be a part of the activities that you have coming up?
Well, they can contact us via Instagram at New Start Hiking Club Tobago. There you can DM us and we will respond to any messages that come as soon as possible. We also provide the service of taking businesses, families, and organizations on hikes as well, as we have done in the past. For example, we have taken New Image Fitness Club,
right,
which is an organization. We have taken iCore TT, which is another organization.
Yes.
On hikes, simply reach out to the Instagram page and state your request, and we reply as soon as.
Understood. So you're saying, like, let's say organization like Tobago Updates, if we want to have one of those employee bonding events and we'd like to host a hike, we can contact your organization and you would lead that hike and you know, guide the organization into those type of activities. Does that come with other type of activities as well, or is it just hikes?
Well, that's also a great question. I'm glad you touched on that topic. So yes, organizations, for example Tobago Updates, if they want to do a team building activity such as a hike, they can contact us and we will work out the logistics, whether it be the payment information or the necessary information needed to conduct the hike successfully, as well as what you touched on with other companies.
Yeah.
Same
and
thing.
Other activities.
Other activities.
Yeah.
So we also do sports days.
Okay.
So we would have hosted in the past different sports day events where we would organize step by step, provide all the equipment for the sports day and run it successfully from start to finish. We will coordinate the events, coordinate the activities, and have a proper functioning sports day. All that is a part of the services that we offer.
Excellent. Is there anything that you want to say to our audience looking on before we wrap our conversation this morning as it pertains to the Rainbow Hike?
As it pertains to Rainbow Hike, Rainbow Falls Hike is on March 29th. It is definitely going to be an experience that I would want to share with you. If you cannot make it to Rainbow Falls Hike, still follow us on Instagram and look out for the future, because the future is bright.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back with much more conversations after this. See you soon.
can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Trinidad, Tobago, and abroad. Your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Springs. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. Yeah. Tobago updates. Na, 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na, 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 na. Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
In a world where our health defines our future and the Caribbean stands on the front lines of climate change, rising NCDs and global challenges, knowledge becomes our greatest defense. Caribbean Medical TV is your guide on the journey to wellness and insight, featuring our region's own doctors, nurses, climate specialists and medical institutions. From physical well-being to the emotional and mental balance we all deserve. Caribbean Medical TV empowers you because building a healthier future isn't just a regional goal, it's a global responsibility. In the Caribbean, vitality isn't just a goal, it's a way of living. Connect with the region through knowledge, hope, and the power of Caribbean resilience on Caribbean Medical TV, where awareness becomes power. Join the conversation, join the movement. Be viewing Season 4 of Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
congratulations. Good morning to you wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. As we wrap up our discussions here on Tobago Updates this morning, I want to say a special happy birthday shout out to my colleague, Mr. Dwayne Nurse. I want to say happy birthday to you, and I hope that all of your wishes come true and that this year is your best year yet. Again, happy birthday to you, Dwayne. Although you did not answer my call as I called to wish you happy birthday, I still want to make sure that you receive my greetings. In addition to that, we want to also say congratulations to Watson Duke on his recent appointment as a consultant to the National Gas Company. We want to say congratulations to you on that new appointment. We know that he previously was the PSA leader in Trinidad and Tobago and retired in 2021, and it has been confirmed that he is now officially an advisor for the National Gas Company. He says that he will be working on matters that are specifically focused on NGC's assets at the Cove Industrial Estate in Tobago. Both Mr. Duke and NGC stated that his unique knowledge of Tobago will be an asset as the company seeks to expand its footprint. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say again a special congratulations to the political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Mr. Watson Duke, in his new role, and we wish him all the best in his future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and all your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and have a great day.